Out where I live is away from the city. The sticks is what we call it, or in other words, like the boonies. My house is actually located at this really wooded dead end. It's really pretty. It's really beautiful. Trees hugging like the whole surrounding area, so it can get pretty eerie. I've had so many family and friends just constantly always asking, man, aren't you terrified like driving down this street? From what I've been told, the property that we have is like native grounds, and next to us are like burial grounds, which would explain a lot of experiences and a lot of the things that has happened already out here. One time, my mother and my nephew were sitting in the kitchen having coffee. The front door just opens and slams shut as if someone was in a rush to come in. They're by themselves. They're like, what the heck was that? And that's actually happened more than just a few times. It's happened multiple times. One morning, mom was in the kitchen cooking. Like, she's doing something in the kitchen. She hears me laughing, like really loud in my room. She hears me moving around in there and laughing and just talking out loud. I have a very distinct laugh, very loud, very super obnoxious. So she figured I was home. She had called me and asked if I was, only for me to tell her that no, I've been gone since 5 in the morning. We've always had voices and sounds like echo throughout the house. Like, there's been nights where we would actually hear like screaming in the back of our house. And again, it's very wooded. So in the back of our house is a couple of acres. Behind those acres is a really narrow dirt road. We've always had this phenomenon where you would just hear this woman screaming. And of course, a lot of people are just like, oh, it could be anything. But it's like a scream. Like, you're gonna hear a woman, a full-grown woman screaming in the back of the house, and we're just gonna be okay with it? No. It's happened so much that we've just gotten used to it. We're just like, there goes the lady. She's mad again because she got lost or something like that. We would always try to joke about it because you know what they say, if you put too much attention to it, positive or negative, you're gonna get like more of it. And ironically, it still happens whether we pay attention to it or not. An ex of mine was staying over here for the weekends. It was late at night, and of course, every couple, we were just bickering and bickering. But this was more fighting with each other. I was like, you know what? I'm done with this. Like, I'm just going to go into my room, blow off some steam because I can't deal with it right now. Some time goes by, and he walks into my room with just this very stone cold face, scared, terrified. He comes in, he sits on my bed, and he was like, Esperanza, I saw a woman in your restroom. I laughed it off and I was like, that could have been my mother. Like, that could have been my mom. But again, from what he described to me, it was far from being my mother. I was like, yeah, that does not sound right. Down the hall is my restroom. We don't have doors. We have like curtains. Most nights I'll have the curtain open. On that night, the curtain was moved to expose the restroom. You know, I get scared myself. I'm walking down the hallway. I'm just like, okay, I'd rather have the curtain be open than be quote unquote shut. When he was walking to the restroom, in the corner of his eye, he saw a pair of feet, and he didn't really think much of it. But when he entered to the restroom, not really enter, get closer to the restroom, he had saw like a very tall, solid figure. And she was really pale, wearing this very long white dress, and her hair was covering her face. And she had very long black hair. He saw that and he rushed into the room and he had repeated that to me. I did get a little scared because that's weird, like for you to walk in on that. For him to say that he walked in the restroom and saw this really tall, solid, and I mind you, that's a solid figure. That's scary because you saw someone there, and she was like standing by the toilet looking down into it, like as if she was mesmerized by the water or something. She wasn't moving, standing very still. I know exactly who that was. I know exactly what he was talking about because everyone here in the family, we call her the White Witch. She's this creepy looking woman who lingers in our property and around our home. Her thing is that she peeps and stares through windows. She doesn't do anything else other than just being a peeping Tom and stares. And she has these really like long nails, like red eyes, aged face, but she's an old lady, a very scary, skitty looking old lady. She stares through windows until one of us will notice her and then she'll disappear. She's been around for years. My mother has seen her, my father has seen her, my nephews, the oldest and the youngest, have seen her, and my sister has seen her. Everyone has seen her. Don't have your windows open. Don't leave your curtains open because she will appear. What makes this so scary for her to expose herself to him in a very creepy manner is very odd to me. We never figured out why, but I think it's because me and him kept fighting. I think she wanted him out of the house, and it worked because, again, the next day we had broken up. But what makes this all too real is that we never told him about her. We never told him that she existed. We never told him that she appeared. We just never shared that story with him because I was afraid to freak him out, for him to want to come over comfortably. I think that fighting and all that like negative energy gave her enough to manifest herself into our home, because again, she just does not do that. Years ago, my nephews were a lot smaller. I had to babysit them. I was in the restroom when this all happened, and there she is. She just appears by the window. She pops up, and my little nephews see her, terrified, screaming, crying. Their faces are so deep red. And I'm like, oh my goodness, what is going on? Did y'all hurt each other? Did y'all get into another fight? And they're pointing at the exposed window in the living room and just kept saying that we saw her. The white lady, or like the white witch, they'll be like, we saw the lady, like the lady. And I'm like, oh my gosh, that's just so terrifying. My little nephew, of course, he's just terrified. He's having nightmares about her, and he's sensitive. He's very sensitive to the spiritual world, I would say, because the house that my sister and her fiance at the time moved in was another house that we had owned on some other property. Before we had inherited that house, it belonged to an old man that my mom would take care of. And after he passed away, he gave it to my mom. His name was John. He hated children. Because I remember him. I remember John because like my mom would take care of him, and he was a mean old man. My nephew would always see him just in his army uniform, very pale, white beard, piercing white eyes. And he would just slowly appear up from behind the couch. And he would just stand there and just stare into the bedrooms and just watch him all night. Oh my God, this gives me chills. The way he described him was very demonic. He never met the man that gave us that home. So to think that he was able to describe him from head to toe, not knowing him, made it very like obvious. Okay, like our family is very sensitive to the spirit world. In a lot of religions, people would say like, that wasn't John, that was a demon. That was a demon. Whether it was John or the demon, that thing was mean. It was a mean thing that would taunt my nephew from the day they moved in to the day they moved out. There's this little boy that would run around in our front yard. From what he's wearing, he's like a little native boy, just long black hair, dark skin, and he's not malicious, I don't think. He just runs around in our front yard. It is scary because he'll stand there and just watch us. Like the way the house is placed, all that front yard area is in front of my window and is in front of my area where I come out through my door. So I get a lot of that view. I try to cover my windows because I don't want to see that. My immediate family definitely believes in all this. On my dad's side of the family, his mom and dad, they would do brujeria. Every other month, they would go to Mexico and get all like the specific materials they would need. They were really heavy on that. My grandma and grandpa's parents passed, and one day, my grandma and grandpa, they went to go visit my great-grandparents' grave. They found this spell jar. They were very concerned because they're just like, what is this? Why is this on Dad's grave? What's going on? So they take it to a medicine man. From what I've learned, you're not supposed to open spell jars. The medicine man opened it up, was like investigating like what was in the jar. They had told my grandparents, hey, like, this is a spell jar for just like a generational curse. This is a curse on y'all's last name. That they were telling them, like, just be very careful. Do like different like rituals to ward off any kind of like negativity. I think it just got passed down to us where we're cursed to have to see this stuff, or maybe it's out where we live. One day, my grandma, she was feeling very sick, just really sick. She just wasn't feeling too good, and she was having the symptoms of a pregnancy. Mind you, this lady was like 70. This might be a little graphic. She's showing signs. She goes to the restroom. She's pushing, like, she feels like she's giving birth, but she's like, I'm not pregnant. Like, I don't know what's going on. Apparently, she had laid an egg. She grabs it. She looks at it. It's covered in blood and stuff, and she's very concerned because she's like, this is so humanly impossible. Like, what is going on? She cracks it open, and there's teeth and hair inside the egg. My sister was experiencing weird stuff herself. She had told me a story once. She was in the living room of our house. I think she was 5 or 7. She was eating ice cream. She was like just chilling there watching cartoons and stuff, and she had stretched and she had pulled her arm up. Something forcefully grabbed her wrist and just would not let go. She was crying because she was like, something had grabbed her arm and just would not let her go. My dad walked in, and as soon as my dad walked in, it let her go. I wasn't born. I think my mom was pregnant with me. My mom and dad and my sister and my brother, they went on a fishing trip. My bedroom used to be my mom and dad's room, but then when they renovated the house, it became my sister's room. There was just a bed and maybe a couple of little things. They're gone for a weekend. They lock up the house. When they came home, the bedroom itself was empty, totally empty. And each corner of the bedroom was filled with green sand. And in the middle was a circle with, I think, a candle. My mom, she, talks to my dad's parents and was like, well, what is this? What are y'all doing in my daughter's bedroom? That was my grandma. She had done that because she wanted to protect my sister. My great-grandpa bought this whole street and made it all family. So it's just all family. We have 3 houses on our property. It's my house, my sister's house, and my nephew's house. We're all here, and the mom and dad are here. We're all here together. And my little nephew lives with my sister, and my oldest nephew has his own little house. One day, my sister, she's just chilling with the cousins and stuff. This is when they're like maybe 12. Her back was facing the window. So she was facing the cousins, and the cousins were facing the window. They're just chilling, playing games. They just start freaking out. They start, oh my God, what is that? What is that? They are pointing at it, and they're like, oh my God. They're like, Anna, turn around and look. And of course, Anna didn't look. She was terrified. She's, I am not looking. I don't know what the heck y'all are pointing at. It's a hand just waving at them. People are like, oh, that's probably not a ghost. That's probably just some weird guy in your yard. It's okay, first of all, we're out in the boonies. We're out in the sticks. Who's going to drive all the way out here? Or who's going to be out here in the first place? Like, by themselves. Like, that's terrifying. Once they got up, they're all freaking out. They left the bedroom. They're crying to mom and dad, and the uncles are outside searching the whole house, the whole property, all the acres that we have. And we don't have a lot, but we don't have a little either. We have a fair amount of land. They come in, they're like, we didn't see nobody. There's no footprints, there was nothing. You would have thought that someone would have been standing behind the window, but there wasn't. There was nobody there. My bedroom is now connected to my brother's room. My brother had moved out, and so now his room is my closet. I love to sleep in the pitch black. I don't know what it is. It's comforting to me. Because my eyes are sensitive and because of the fact that I love to sleep in the dark, I see everything. In the corner of the closet, there would be like a flash of light. It's a flash of light. Like as if someone had a flashlight, pointed it to me, and turned it on and off. And it would happen in a blink of an eye. It happened so quick that before you can make a double take, it's gone. It happens all the time. There's nothing in that corner. I don't have cameras in my room. There's not a mirrors. There's no pictures. I don't have lights on my walls. There's nothing there that could flash a light in my direction. A lot of people would say, oh, what if a car drove by and that's what you saw? I've seen it more than once. You know, I've had people come over and friends, like they'll sleep over and they're like, oh my God, did you see that? And I'm like, yes. Don't talk about it. Go back to bed. Because it's 3 a.m. There's no activities going on between 3 and 4 a.m. because we all know that's witch hour. I do apologize to a lot of my friends that do come over because already they are scared. Just driving down my road, all these trees like overpowering like the moonlight and then just hugging over the road and then just having to drive into it already in itself is a very terrifying sight. So to get out of your car and to experience that, it's way past being scared. It's way past being terrified. It's past being petrified because that shouldn't happen. My window is exposed because my curtain's open. Again, I don't do that. It was my best friend. I don't know why she does that. She just likes to see the outside because of how pretty our yard is. One night, we have all the lights on in my bedroom. My best friend left to go and say hi to my cousins, and I was gone. And she said that when she was staring into my bedroom, she saw a very tall black figure looking out of my window, just standing there. Just solid black figure, and she thought I was home. But then she realized I wasn't, so she got scared. She was like, oh my God, what the heck is that? Something was in your room, and she explained the whole story to me. Kind of left it off because I was like, oh, that's Steve. He just likes to be in my room. Don't worry about him. That's like the most she's experienced in my home. It's another reason why she doesn't like coming over to my house. And this is where we get into aliens. It's 8 o'clock, late at night. I wasn't born yet, of course. Down the road, it's a small little store that we have. We only have one store. My mom was like, I'm gonna go to the store real quick. My dad was like, all right, please be safe. So she goes. It's like down the street, up a hill, and then down the street again. And then, bam, store. So she's going to the store. She gets what she needs, and she's coming back. The street that I'm on, all one side is very heavily wooded, and the other side is just like plain fields. Until you hit a certain point, there's going to be more trees. So she's driving down. Now on the left of her, she's just looking at all trees, like one after the other. But behind those trees, she sees this really orange, bright light that seems to fill up the whole wooded area. This really strong beam of light just flashes. She sees it, and then all of a sudden, she wakes up. That's it. That is literally what happened. She's coming back home. She sees the light. She's appeared on the side of the road. The doors are open. When she left, it was 8 o'clock. By the time it was rolling around, it was 11. My dad's freaking out because he's like, well, where are you? A couple of days later, she finds out she's pregnant with my brother. My mom does not like to talk about it because it does still scare her because she honestly does not know what happened. You see a flash of light and bam, you're all of a sudden parked on the opposite side of the road, facing the not home. To me, no, I would be done. I would want to move out. Of course, we make jokes with her, like, mom, like, nombre, where were you? Were you with the milkman? Like, we always make jokes like that all the time. There was no, like, infidelity going on, but to me, that sounds very alien. I really think that it could just be the fact that native grounds, maybe because of my family's history with that kind of spirituality, it could be really anything at this point. And the fact that I guess the family fed into it because when one thing happened to the other, we fed into it by talking about it. I don't know. my oldest nephew was walking from my house to his little house, and he would hear footsteps. He heard it behind him, and he was walking a little faster. It was walking a little faster. He slowed down. It slowed down. My nephew was so stupid. I don't know why he did this. He had the balls to be like, you know what? Come at me. Come at me. The footsteps got louder and louder and quicker. Ran right up behind him, and a gust of wind just blew right behind him. And he said that with the leaves, it caught the wind, and it was in a circle surrounding his doorway. And he just opened the door, ran into his house, and he's like, nope, nope. He slammed the door. And he knew himself. He said, that was the most stupidest thing I've ever done, because whatever it is, it either follows us, or maybe that house and that property did have something on it. When I would go and babysit, there was this one distinct night. I had locked all the doors. I had locked all the windows. Everything was shut down. And the nephews, the boys were asleep. I'm in the kitchen, and I'm like making myself something to eat. I heard someone trying to come in through the door. It was just like rattling, like someone was shaking the doorknob like really harshly. Everyone that's listening to this story, please do not judge me. I was young. I unlocked the door. I opened the door so fast because I was like, it kept happening. Something kept shaking and like trying to jiggle in the door. And I just opened it, and nobody was there. I looked outside, and the property itself was big. It was maybe like 2 acres. So the house, the driveway, and then the driveway to the street was a fairly big distance of a walk. So for me, I'm just like, that's a far walk. Like, how is someone going to prank me like that? The devil isn't this ugly, gross thing. It's this very beautiful, enchanting creature to get your attention. So out here, that's how I see it. It's very beautiful. It's enchanting. It's great. It's so green out here. So it's just nice. It's really nice. But at night, it's at its scariest. It's very terrifying. I do not want to be out here for long. I really don't.